Hello friend, welcome back to my shop. Welcome back to Toyota Maintenance YouTube channel. I have here today really nice 2007 Toyota Highlander. It's a 4-wheel drive with V6 engine and it's a new customer. This one is the neighbor actually in this industrial complex, and this owner decided that I should replace the transmission fluid on it. It has an automatic transmission, right? The fluid, if you look in your owner's manual for this vehicle, it should be Toyota Type 4, and the drain and refill, the approximate number your manual gives you, it's 3.7 quarts. As I mentioned before, this is a new customer. I never saw this car before, never had my hands on it, so I will be not able to stop myself looking around, right? The brake fluid, I will still check for him that engine air filter. Here we have a transmission dipstick, right? So it should be very easy for us to deal with it. Looking on the condition of this engine bay, I don't think it's serviced correctly. Look at this stuff, right? Not good, not good. Might be slightly leaking around here. So I will check the belts, right? Here is the coolant, that seems to be the correct color. Yet here on the contrary, this is a nightmare. Look at that fluid, right? Look at that black residue. Disgusting. How this power steering even keeps working, right? But let's focus back on our automatic transmission drain and refill. He requested that, so let's go do that. I will start with pulling this dipstick, right? So you push on this, that allows you to pull it out. Now I will put the camcorder on the tripod because I want to show you how you can evaluate this fluid if it's even needed. And on purpose I didn't pull it yet. I want to show you that first impression, right? So normally I should wear gloves, right? But my gloves are black and I will be not able to evaluate that fluid. Now immediately here it says type T4, so that's great, right? This is the one of those I showed you in different videos. Here it says no need to replace ATF under normal driving conditions. So these are those, I will say, confused ears when they thought it will last forever, right? They even wrote it down here. If I had a light blue maybe rubber gloves, I could have them. But I want to observe if there is any black residue on the dipstick and how is the fluid. So here we go. I'm wiping it, and that fluid, it's pretty dark, right? And there is actually on my fingers a little bit of the black residue. This is definitely none of the bad ones, because sometimes you pull it and you will really have a black residue sticking on your fingers on that first pull when you are wiping it off. So this is not so bad, definitely. I will keep it out, I will raise the vehicle and we will continue underneath. Highlander is up in the air, so let's go see where is that automatic tranny, right? So here is engine oil pan with the drain plug, and here is automatic transmission pan, right? You can see it hopefully nicely, and we have the drain plug with the crusher washer. So let's remove that, catch the fluid. Some of you familiar with this know already, it's a hex number 10, right? So that's the tool to release that drain bolt. I have that catching pan for a reason of evaluating that fluid, right? Looking at it, how dirty it was. Now it's already dripping. I can see it's dirty, right? The dipstick always shows you or making you think it's better than it is in reality. You will see, right? We will also measure if that guesstimate from Toyota, oh yeah, it's so dark, the sketching pen is clean inside, so you will see. We will also measure if that guesstimate, that rough estimate for 3.7 quarts. So I removed that plug. You can hopefully see it, right, with that crusher washer. These ones are not having any magnet in it, right? It's just a simple plug. I'll show you later how it looks like. While it's dripping, I can show you detail of that plug, right? So no magnet in middle, and here is that aluminum crusher washer right here. Here is the side for that hex stand. This is 25 minutes later and it still slowly drips. I don't have a time to wait anymore. Also, I look in my notes, this customer actually wants to have a flush, so there's no reason for me to wait anymore around. I will close it. Alright, I will still clean it here so it's not falling on the ground or anything. Nice and tight. Alright, good, and we are ready to look at that fluid. Looking at that fluid, I will think almost everybody here will agree this fluid is bad, right? It's very dark, it's burned, definitely. That should have been replaced long time ago, right? So now how we get the new fluid in? But first, how much fluid, right? So you can see it here. This is the residue which is left in this catching pan, which was perfectly clean before I used it for this Highlander. And how much we have here. So look at it. Quarts are on the left, and it's not 3.7 as the manual said roughly will come out. They are very slightly over 4. So I can definitely safely pour 4 of these and then start the measuring of the level or continue with the flush, right? When you do flush, you repeat this at least twice, ideally 3 times to get the oil in. I will be using that dipstick tube, right, which is open right here. I brought my transmission funnel, right, that fits perfectly in that very narrow opening, and I will slowly, paying attention, I will slowly start pouring that new fluid. You don't want to go too fast because you will have a leak here. The transmission tube is narrow, right? You can see the color of the fluid. It's beautiful, very light red color, clean, transparent, right? And I will pour as we measured, right? 4 of these. Just don't rush, because the thin tube cannot take too much of fluid and you will end up with a spill. It will start flowing all over and you will have to clean that mess. So it's better go slower, no mess. When I'm done pouring those 4 quarts, it's time to remove the funnel. And if you did, for example, just a drain and refill, you will put this dipstick back, go for the test drive. Ideally, please recheck the level when the engine and transmission fluids are hot, right? The measuring Toyota gives you 2 ranges. Do you see on the bottom these 2 notches? That's for cold. And when the fluid gets hot, you see how much the level raises up. It's coming to here. And that's a range where your fluid needs to be. So it's in the park, on the leveled ground, right? It's in the park, brake on. You pull this out, the dipstick, wipe it clean, put it all the way down when the engine is running and you read your level, right? It doesn't mean that what we took out at the level was correct, right? It's always good to recheck. I check my notes. This owner wants to have a flush, so I will do it 2 times more. Right now I will start it up, put it through the gears, let it idle, let the fluid mix. After that I will drain it again, pour the 4 new and repeat it 1 more time. Then I'm ready to give it to him back, and I will have most of that fluid will be brand new and he's ready to go, I will say, for another 60,000 miles. That will be my recommendation with this transmission and with this mileage, which is approximately 145,000 miles on it, right? So I hope you enjoyed this video, you find it helpful, and be subscribed. I have way more coming your way soon. See you later, my friend.